I am incredibly disappointed with Wargaming in the Caernarvon Defender release. A lot of you have been asking me, where is my review on this vehicle? Because I have not missed a tank review, apart from the AE Phase 1, in literally years, because I try to review every new tank added into the game. However, the Caernarvon Defender will be breaking that list, because this is not a tank I'm going to be dropping $200, $300, maybe even $500 to review. Why is it so expensive? Well, if we take a look at the drop chances, to get the vehicle itself is a 3%, which is a terrible drop chance. That is 40% less than the normal 5% in chances. That is absolutely ridiculous on the drop chance. The only other way to get this vehicle is charms, and the Caernarvon Defender charms are a 10% drop chance. Yeah, you heard that right. 10%. So essentially, to get this vehicle guaranteed, you just have to keep gambling and gambling and gambling. Either getting the 3% drop chance for the vehicle itself, or getting the charms for the tank. I've calculated it'll take you around 80 to 100 crates to possibly get the tank. And even then, it's all just luck. But for 80 crates, it's going to cost you at least $200. So, do I think this vehicle is worth it? No, not even slightly. I wouldn't recommend a gamble on it. Maybe get a couple crates if you want to get maybe the AMX Defender or the IS3 Defender, the Defender Mark 1, but do not waste your money trying to get the Caernarvon Defender, because it is a complete waste of your time and money. With that aside, I'm still going to be reviewing the tank in today's video. I'll be showcasing its stats, some decent gameplay, and how you should overall fight this vehicle on the battlefield. So let's start off with those said statistics, making our way over to Blitzhanger. We can see that I've got the vehicle fully equipped with Cali, enhanced gun laying drive, you know, all the things that I would normally run on this tank. We can see hit points are pretty average at 1908. That's the same for just about any heavy tank. View range is also pretty stock standard, so nothing crazy there. DPM is 1945. That sounds about right. This is not a loader, and if we take a look at something like the Emil or the Emil 1951, the T77, you're going to be sitting just at around 2,000-ish damage per minute on this vehicle. The penetration is pretty good for the standard, 230, and the premium shells are, well, actually not that great at only 263. That's pretty mediocre, to be completely real, especially when you are going to be fighting tier 9s like the E75. That's really not going to go all too well against them. But I can't really say it's the worst pen, so it's not terrible. The damage per shot on this tank is 280. It's nothing incredible, but it's not bad either. It's going to be able to deal 840 clipping damage. With a 3-second interclip, that means it'll take 6 seconds in total from start to finish to deal this damage. Do I think that makes this tank anything special? Well, not really. I mean, if we take a look at the Emil 1, which is a tech tree heavy, it not only has higher clipping damage, pretty similar pen values, but the same intra clip as well. So far, I can't really say I'm all too impressed with the Caernarvon Defender. But let's take a look at the rest of the stats that it's going for it. Dispersion, pretty good. It's 0.326, a decent aiming time at 2.12 seconds, and its on-movement dispersion is very nice, as we can see, at 0.316 and 0.119, making it one of the most accurate heavies on move in Tier 8. So that's good news, at least. Gun depression is also incredibly solid at 10 degrees, allowing this vehicle to work any ridgeline in the game. Its turret turns very fast at 34 degrees a second, and the vehicle has a pretty solid power to weight of 17.79, actually placing it in the second best for a Tier 8 heavy. Unfortunately, that doesn't really mean much when the vehicle's top speed is only 30, and it reverses at a pretty mediocre 14. The tank also features pretty awful traverse speed at 29 degrees a second. That's awful, especially when you realize again that this thing is fully equipped. That's really, really bad. So I can't really say all too much good about the vehicle's mobility. Let's take a look at the armor profile. Maybe it'll be a bit better there, because overall when it comes to the gun, it's pretty lackluster. Okay, so the upper plate, pretty solid. It's 260. Even loading premium shells in a T32, which has upwards of 280 mils a pen. I mean, yeah, this thing's upper plate is incredibly well armored. And especially when you're hull down, you're legit never, ever going to pen that upper plate. But the problem isn't the upper plate, it's the turret. Against AP ammo, the turret's pretty solid. It's about 250 thick, which is not bad at all. I mean, that's very solid. The problem is when you load premium ammo. I mean, yeah, you just go right through it. It's only 250 thick. It is a completely flat turret, as we can see, which means that any tier 8, let's go get out some of the worst penning mediums, like the T69 has terrible standard pen, but if you load premium, you butter right through. Even the T-25 Pilot 1, a vehicle that features, again, really bad pen, still has 250 on the premium, enough to cut right through this vehicle even while fully hauled down. It's not bad armor, but it's definitely nothing that I would consider to be, amazing, especially if we make our way over to Tier 8 and we go to the European nation and we pull out something like the Emil 1, which is a tech tree heavy. Look at the Emil 1 against premium ammo from a Pilot 1. I mean, this is just on flat. When you use this vehicle hauled down, I mean, that is just so much better. It's upwards of 300 mils. And look at that upper plate. It's also 280. So, I mean, I really can't say that the Caernarvon Defender has all that impressive armor, because to be completely real, it doesn't. The Emil 1 not only features more armor, more damage per minute, and clipping damage than the Caernarvon Defender, but even has more mobility, reaching a top speed of 35, reversing faster, and even featuring super speed boost, allowing it to get in and out of position way faster. When you add all these things together, the Caernarvon Defender is nothing special. And the fact that Wargaming is asking so much money for the tank, in my opinion, is absolutely ridiculous. The T-77 is currently for sale in the Wargaming stores. Now, I already purchased it on my account because it is an absolute beast of a vehicle. It is one of the best deals that Wargaming has sold in the past year or two. 7,500 gold for a double-shot American auto-loading tank. This thing deals just about the same 700 800 damage in a clip that the Caernarvon Defender does, but it's faster. It's got a much deadlier gun because it's only a 2.5 second intra clip rather than 6. I just do not spend your money on the Caernarvon Defender. That's really the simplest way to go about it. While I do not personally own the tank, I still do have a replay that I'm able to go over due to the fact it was submitted to Blitzstars replays. It's not the best game ever, and the player definitely could use some work on his aiming and how he uses the vehicle, but we're not here to criticize. We're here to criticize the tank, the Caernarvon Defender. So, what do we have up against us? We got a KV-4, a T-77, and a VK-168. The only Tier 7 heavy they have is a KV-3. So, yeah, not too bad of a lineup, but they do have some strong vehicles. As I said, the T-77 is an absolutely devastating tank, and it's better than this vehicle in just about every way. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think the Caernarvon Defender is an outright bad vehicle, but it is really ugly. I hate the design of the thing's turret. The way it just kind of slumps over like a tumor. God, is this thing an ugly vehicle. I really do not like the design of it. But, yeah, looks aside, the vehicle seems okay. It's got a clipper, and it gets out the damage fairly fast. It's got okay DPM, it's got solid gun depression, and very good hull armor. So it's not bad, but I want you to remember that the Tech Tree Caernarvon has 3,000 damage per minute. And it's faster, and it's got a much better gun, and I don't really, again, understand really the point. The Tier 8 Tech Tree Caernarvon also has a better turret. So this player is going to take a shot at the T-77. Okay, not too bad. Now he's going to aim it on the VK-168, just barely cutting through the armor on his side. He's going to take one more shot. Unfortunately, when he zooms out of sniper mode there, his reticle is just slightly a bit higher than the VK-168's hull, so he's not able to pen the shell. Okay, not too bad. One of the nice things about this vehicle having the same DPM as something like an Emil 1 is that because it deals less clipping damage, the vehicle does reload the clip a slight bit faster. That'll be better for, getting hull down, especially if you're going to get pushed by opponents. So we got the VK-168 off to the side. We got one shell into the tank and two shells. Oh, it goes right into the spaced armor on the back. Well, that's very unfortunate. I'm not sure why this player has HE loaded, to be honest, but, well, he's going to get a shell to the back of the VK-168. Okay, 1,098 damage dealt. It's not doing bad. Again, any autoloader could have been doing this, though. So I really just don't understand the full shtick of this vehicle. So at this point, it's a 3 versus 7. It's not looking good for our player here. Is he going to get a really good carry? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. Right now, he's going to poke the Vindicator. Gets one shell in for 272. And gets a second shell in for 231. Will he finish him off? Oh, bonk. Nice. Okay, full clip into the enemy Vindicator. Not too bad, bringing him up to 1,800 damage. We got the VK-168, who is trying to push him right now. Again, we can see that the fairly fast reloading clip isn't too bad. But uh-oh, we got a T-26C4 in front as well. Well, you still got 1100 health, but now it is a 2 versus everyone, essentially. You get a nice clearing shot into that enemy VK-168. And at this point, it's a 3 versus 2. You need to get a clear into the Super Pershing. Unfortunately, you didn't back up a little bit when you could have, which would have allowed you to finish off this player. I honestly would have just pushed the Super Pershing, but, because of that, now you're going to have to reload an entire clip. By the way, did you notice how that Super Pershing went right through his turret? Yeah, again, the armor on this vehicle is nothing impressive. So the Super Pershing at this point is getting pushed. And is he going to die? Bonk! Oh my god, he gets 1 health. But the good news is that he's still dead. And even though it was a pretty poor way of clearing the guy, you were still able to clear him without bleeding really any health. So at this point, we got the KV-4 off to the side, who we're going to aim in on the lower plate of. We're going to get 1 shell into, and aiming again. 2 shells, and are you going to get the 3rd one out? Aiming, and there's the 3rd. One bit of advice I can give this player if he does ever end up watching this video: don't back up and forth if you're going to try to clip somebody. Just dump the clip. When you move back and forth, as we see, it makes your gun much less accurate, which can cause you to miss really important shots. So because of that, I would highly recommend just to stay still, trade the shot with your opponent, and dump the clip. So we can see that there's a KV-4 and KV-3 left on the enemy team. The KV-4 finishes off his teammate, which is obviously not good. All our Caernarvon dude has to do is pen 3 shells into the KV-4, and he can win. Your best situation here would be the face hug. Oh, you get the bounce. Okay, all you got to do is pen the shell. Load premium ammo. There you go. You got a 2nd pen, but uh-oh, you do not have enough alpha to finish him off. That is not good, and this is where obviously being in a mill or something that has a little bit higher damage output would allow you to actually, you know, win the game possibly, because you're going to clip a little bit harder. Well, 940 on the base cap. Reloading. Yup, you get another bounce. This KV-4 clearly does not know what loading premium ammo looks like. Oh, you shoot him right in the red spot. Try again. Just shoot him right in the hull. There you go. Nice. Unfortunately, it's at 938. Reload your clip. Come on. Reload your clip, please. Please reload your clip. Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, it seems like Tonks here does not reload his clip. And it is a KV-3 that is AFK. Honestly, if he had reloaded his clip and he had been able to pen that first shell aiming properly on the KV-4, this would have been a pretty easy win. But unfortunately, it's a bit of a skill issue in the end here. But as we can see, the Caernarvon Defender is nothing spectacular. The gun doesn't feel anything extraordinary. The armor is okay. I mean, we watched that KV-4 bouncing, but at the same time, that KV-4 obviously did not know what premium ammo was by even the slightest stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, the tank seems okay. But I can't say there's really anything unique about it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Do not waste your money on the tank. Please don't. I would highly recommend that you stay very far away. And if you already got the vehicle, let me know what you think of it. But my guess is you're probably not all too fond. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.